Alright, so bear with me on the lighting on this one. This is a little darker than I usually have this, but it is what it is. Sputnik, and which also has a Russian name that I'm not going to be able to pronounce, is a brand new 2020 film, I'm pretty sure, but it might have came out in 2021. It says 2020 on the back, we'll stick with that. Russian film, basically a monster movie about an alien, which I'll get into the plot more in detail about that, but basically it follows an alien kind of invading somebody's body, we'll just say, and a government organization trying to study and figure out what the hell's going on with this. This is a well-shot, well-made, and well-talked-about film. This film is being talked about a lot in the horror community, especially recently, being compared to like Alien and stuff like that. And it's doing really well, and it did really well. And I must say, I would give it a 5 out of 5. It was that good. I went into it expecting to like it. I blind bought it. It's one of the more recent films that I bought, and yeah, A plus for me. Really, really well done stuff. It's there's a lot of good things to say about this film, and there's a lot of things that it plays with, themes that it plays with, and not just story-wise, but we're talking like cinematography and the way it's shot, and definitely the way it's acted, but things that are more thought-provoking, and especially with certain shots that you don't typically see normally, or if you do, it's pretty rare. Like, it's not a standard film that plays out kind of the way you expect. At least it didn't for me. I mean, the third act, it does get a little bit more generic in the popcorn movie kind of thing, but the first two acts are a lot more psychological and definitely driven around that kind of stuff. So one thing I'm not going to worry about is names in this movie because I cannot pronounce any of them. I also didn't take any notes for this one, so this is one of the rare films I'm going to wing. But yeah, I watched it a couple days ago and I loved it, and there's a lot to say about it. Your main character is Tatiana, and basically the film starts right off with these two guys in space, and they're about to land, so they're kind of finishing off their expedition, and one scene kind of cuts to the next, and they end up in Soviet Kazakhstan, and the ship has basically crashed, and it's found, and one person is left inside while the other is dead, and this astronaut that is alive is seriously injured. And he is taken to the facility where it's discovered that he has a living organism inside himself, and they have no idea what it is, but they're trying to figure out what it is. And then there's this neurologist who's called in to study it as well, which that part's a little bit funny because she's called in for a specific reason, in which she saved the life of an epileptic person or child. I don't know if it was an adult or a child, but she saved the life of them by drowning them for like a minute or something, or depriving them of air underwater for a short amount of time, and that ended up healing the person. So because of that, because of her talents in figuring out some neurological things that this astronaut is also going through, she's called in to investigate and study the situation. This guy, it turns out that at some period throughout the day or night, every 24 hours, this creature comes out of him. And during the process of the creature coming out of him, the astronaut is left in basically in an anesthesia type state and doesn't remember anything. And he has short periods of amnesia. Now everybody studying him knows what's going on, but he has no clue. And they want to study the creature, especially when it's outside of the body, and it comes out the mouth, it goes back in the mouth, and it stays out for approximately an hour and a half, and starts to kind of develop a little bit more and more after that. It also, while it's inside the astronaut's body, nourishes the body, so the body is actually develops a lot more strength than it previously did the previous day. So every day, the astronaut actually gets stronger. Maybe his name is back here too. No, I don't see it. But anyway, yeah. So that's where it goes, and then really cool things start to happen after that. I'm going to get a little bit more spoilerish in a bit, but I want to explain some of the things that I loved about this movie. As I mentioned, the camera shots, the creature design. Good God, does the creature look incredible. It's probably CGI. It looks CGI 100%. It doesn't look like they used any practicals. If they did, great, but the CGI looks mint. It's CGI that you don't see very often today or in the last like 20 years or more. So detailed, so creepy, and I mean, it's hard to explain the camera angles, but there's overhead shots sometimes, you know, where Tatiana is the lead character is going to go into where the creature is caged, and there's an overhead shot of her, and then it'll show the face of a guy in front of glass while the creature just slowly and creepily stares at him from this side, and he's like on this side looking in, and they play around with camera angles that really work wonders with cinematography, and the creature looks better than any alien creature I've seen in a long time. The score gets better and better, especially as the film goes on and on. The score is this beautiful, like, orchestral, epic, you know, room-filling sound. Like, watching this in surround sound would probably be an amazing experience. Although I don't know how much of a theatrical release this got, or I'm pretty sure there's no way it was released straight to video, but maybe it got a small release in the US, or what year it came out in Russia, maybe the same year, I don't know. This was released by IFC Midnight though, which releases a lot of horror films and really fine lesser known films, or films that just spend a little bit of time in the festival circuit. So as for getting a little bit more spoilery, there's a few things that happen. One of them being that the astronaut that they're studying reveals that he actually does remember everything. He doesn't have any amnesia. He just didn't want to say so because he didn't want that to be an issue with the people studying him. But he does let the main character know that when the creature comes out of him, he visualizes everything. So he kind of feels like he's the monster himself, because every time this creature is feeding on people and destroying people, which it wants to, because eventually the team, the experts, want to feed it pigs and stuff, but it stops wanting to eat that and starts wanting to feast on humans. So they start to the corrupt leader of the scientists starts to feed it humans, which he basically captures prisoners and feeds the prisoners to them. And like I said about the third act, it goes into this spree of, it turns into like a chase movie, like your Aliens kind of thing, like Alien 2. And then it's kind of a heartwarmed ending too, because there's a plot where the alien and the astronaut are kind of developing their there's things going on with the mind of him, and his mind starts to he I'm not gonna, like, kind of psychic abilities, but in like a more unique way. He has an estranged son that he kind of abandoned to explore his space career, and he left his son and he left his family behind to focus on that. So he has an estranged son that starts to experience really small details of not what the father's going through, but some of the effects of the creatures starts to kind of seep into this kid, which is miles away and has never met the father before. But for anybody who's seen the film, obviously this is for anybody who's seen the film because I'm spoiling it now. I love the scene on the highway at the end, in that desert road the standoff, basically. Very powerful stuff. I like when the evil leader says, like, your problem to the Tatiana, your problem is you want to save everyone, but you can't. You have to sacrifice someone, or you have to always pick one or the other, kind of thing. Which, I mean, given all the circumstances, he's a piece of shit, straight up. But yeah, the detail that this film has, a lot of people say it kind of does what other films do, and there's nothing really unique about it. I disagree on the unique part. I'm not gonna say that it doesn't have any comparisons to other monster films or creature features or science fiction films, especially. But as for uniqueness, yes, this film definitely stands out as one of the best of 2020, best foreign films of 2020, and best creature feature, like science fiction creature feature involving an alien that's come out in a long, long time. I mean, name me another if you can, but this one does. This one works perfectly for what it is. That's the greatest way you're going to see me talk or judge a film or judge the quality of a film is for what the film is. Whether I judge it for the way it's made or my personal thoughts on it, it's always going to be about what the film is. So I'm going to judge a B film different than I'm going to judge a Marvel movie, because they're not the same thing, right? I'm judging the quality and my thoughts by what it is, and this one is a perfect monster movie. It's great. It's beautiful. It's beautiful to look at, and it's beautiful to listen to. And the creature design, I can't talk about the creature design enough. Even if, I mean, I'm not recommending it, but look it up on YouTube, or YouTube, if you want YouTube, but look it up on Google, the Sputnik alien. It looks amazing. Or just watch the film. That's what I recommend. It's probably streaming somewhere too. I'm sure it's on Shudder maybe, but yeah, it's available now. I love it, and I highly, strongly recommend it. If you like this kind of movie, it doesn't. It has some, like, it has gore in it. I'm not gonna say this movie doesn't have gore, but it's not a bloodbath like you would think it would be. It blends a lot of psychological horror. That's what I liked most about it, and it blends action movie tropes, and it blends heart and drama as well, like family drama, and with the father and son. There's a big heavy dive into that, with the little toy and everything, and how that, the alien starts to learn more about the history of the astronaut through that toy, and that's what connects with the son as well. So it's unique, and that's the recommendation it gets from me. The most moving horror, the most moving horror accepts the tragic inevitability of the premise it has set up. This is one of those movies. Yeah, exactly. Especially with the third act, like I was saying about the desert road and the standoff with the cars, where even the astronaut taking his own life at the end, that was tragic. I wish he would have, from how much the film was building up to, I wish he would have lived, because it would have made a nicer payoff. But it was a bitter one. It was a bitter Jesus. It was a bitter pill to chew and swallow, but it's well worth it. It's a perfect ride with a perfect ending. Like I said, that beautiful scene with the woman Tatiana and the little boy, with that epic music playing, mint. So that's what I got on Sputnik. This was my what do you call it, free rant, without a script or anything or notes. But yeah, I say go watch it, because it. Well, do I consider it a 2021 film, even though it didn't come out in 2021? I don't know. But yeah, it's one of the best films I've seen all year. Best foreign film I've seen so far. So that's Sputnik, IFC Midnight. And Certified Fresh if you want to, follow that. I don't know. But yeah, check it out. Find it where you can, and it's amazing. So until next time, I am Morgan Film Fan. Subscribe if you like listening to my voice, or if you like any of my reviews, and I will be back for more. Alright, so until then, cheers.